"You're holding me back from my dreams," she cried. I knew I was enough, so I moved out. Now she's begging from her mom's basement, and I'm done caring. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I'm Jake, 29, and for 3 years, I thought Mia was my future. We met at a friend's art gallery opening, her laugh cutting through the room like sunlight. She was 28, a budding fashion influencer with big dreams and bigger energy. I was a graphic designer, happy with my steady job at a small agency, content building a life together in our cozy apartment. I supported her hustle, paying for her photography equipment, staying up late to edit her Instagram reels, even turning down a job in Chicago to help her land her first brand deal. I thought we were a team. But lately, Mia had changed. She'd come home late, her phone glued to her hand, snapping at me when I asked about her day. "You wouldn't understand my hustle, Jake," she said one night, her voice sharp as she scrolled through texts. I brushed it off, figuring she was stressed. I'd always been the patient one, the one who believed in us. But the distance grew, her eyes were somewhere else, and I felt like a ghost in my own home. I remember the night I paid for her new camera, maxing out my credit card so she could level up her content. She'd hugged me, called me her rock. Now, that memory felt like a punch. I'd sit on our couch, staring at her empty chair, wondering what I'd missed. Was I not enough? I pushed the thought away, telling myself she'd come around. But deep down, I knew something was breaking. It was a Thursday night when it all came crashing down. I'd cooked dinner, Mia's favorite, pasta with homemade sauce, hoping to reconnect. She walked in, her heels clicking, her face lit by her phone. "We need to talk, Jake," she said, not even looking up. I set the table down, my stomach twisting. "What's going on?" She tossed her phone on the couch, crossed her arms, and fixed me with a look I'd never seen. Cold, almost pitying. "I'm leaving, Jake. I've met someone who gets me. Ethan, from the fashion conference last month. He's a CEO, building something real. You're holding me back from my dreams." I froze, her words slicing through me. "Holding you back? Mia, I've done everything for you. Your shoots, your bills, your brand." She laughed, sharp and cruel. "That's the problem. You're so small. You're happy with this boring life, this tiny apartment, your safe little job. Ethan's going places, Silicon Valley, investors, big dreams. I need someone who matches my ambition." I stared at her, my chest tight. "I gave up a job in Chicago for you. I stayed so you could chase this. And I didn't ask you to," she snapped. "You made that choice, Jake. Don't put it on me. Ethan doesn't make me feel like I owe him anything." Her words burned, each one a betrayal of the years I'd poured into us. I wanted to yell, to demand how she could throw me away like this. But I saw the smugness in her eyes, the way she stood taller, like she'd already won. "If that's what you want," I said quietly, "I won't stop you." She blinked, maybe expecting a fight. "Good. I'm staying at Ethan's tonight. I'll get my stuff later." She grabbed her phone and walked out, her heels echoing like a gavel. I stood there, the pasta cold on the table, her words looping in my head. Small, boring, holding her back. I'd given her everything, and she'd turned it into a weapon. The apartment felt too big, too quiet. I sank onto the couch, staring at the life we'd built, now just a ghost town. A week later, Mia texted to meet at a coffee shop to sort things out. I agreed, more for closure than hope. The place was busy, the hum of conversation a stark contrast to the silence between us. She sat across from me, her designer bag on the table, her nails tapping impatiently. "So," she started, not meeting my eyes, "I'm moving in with Ethan. I just need my stuff from the apartment." I leaned back, keeping my voice steady. "That's it. You're done just like that." She sighed, like I was the one being difficult. "It's not personal, Jake. Ethan's just on my level. You're too comfortable, you know? You're happy with your little designs, your predictable life. I want more. Comfortable," I said, my voice low. "I paid for your camera, your lights, your trips. I stayed up editing your videos. That was for you, Mia." She rolled her eyes. "And that's the problem. You made me feel like I owed you. Ethan doesn't. He's building a startup, Jake. Real money, real impact. He doesn't cling to me like some burden." Her words twisted the knife, but I kept my face blank. "So I was a burden for supporting you?" "Don't twist my words," she snapped. "You're just Not enough anymore. I'm going for what I deserve. You should too. I looked at her, seeing the woman I loved replaced by someone entitled, unrecognizable. Good luck, Mia, I said, standing. I'll pack your things. They'll be outside the door tomorrow. She scoffed, grabbing her bag. You'll regret this, Jake. You'll see what you lost when I'm living my best life. I walked away, her words echoing but not breaking me. The unfairness stung, her rewriting our story, painting me as the villain. But I wouldn't beg. I wouldn't chase. I'd let her go, and I'd find my own way forward. Mia's departure left a void, but I refused to let it define me. Her words, small, boring, holding her back, stung like hell, but they also lit a fire. I'd given everything to a woman who saw me as a stepping stone. Enough was enough. I needed a fresh start, somewhere her shadow couldn't reach. I took a leap and applied for a senior graphic designer role at a creative agency in a new city a few hours away. The interview was a blur, but I landed the job, better pay, more responsibility. I packed up our old apartment, leaving Mia's boxes by the door as promised, and moved without looking back. The new city felt alive, full of possibility. I rented a small loft, joined a gym, and started running every morning. The burn in my lungs drowned out the ache in my chest. At work, I threw myself into projects, designing campaigns that got noticed. My boss praised my focus, and I earned a promotion within 6 months. I wasn't just surviving, I was building something. I started a side hustle, too, freelancing for local startups. The hustle felt good, not because I was chasing Mia's version of ambition, but because it was mine. I'd catch myself thinking about her sometimes, especially late at night. I remembered the time I stayed up until 3 a.m., editing her first fashion reel, her smile when it hit 10,000 views. I'd believed in her dream, but she'd thrown mine away. Those memories didn't hurt as much anymore. They were lessons. I wasn't small. I wasn't boring. I was enough, and I was proving it to myself. Therapy helped, too. I started seeing a counselor to unpack the betrayal. You didn't fail, she told me. You loved someone who couldn't reciprocate. That stuck. I wasn't the problem. Mia's choices were. Each session, each run, each late-night design, I felt clearer, stronger. I wasn't rebuilding to spite her. I was rebuilding for me. By the end of the first year, I'd bought a used car, joined a hiking group, and even started dating casually. I wasn't ready for anything serious, but I was open to life again. Mia's voice faded, replaced by my own. You're not small. You're enough. About 18 months after the breakup, I got a call from our mutual friend, Tom. You hear about Mia? He asked, his voice low. I hadn't, and I didn't care to, but he spilled anyway. Ethan's startup, the one Mia bet her future on, had crashed spectacularly. He'd burned through investor money, faked revenue numbers, and got exposed in a tech blog for fraud. Worse, he'd used Mia, leveraging her influencer status to network with big names, then dumped her when the scandal broke. Mia was a mess. She'd quit her day job to support Ethan's vision, banking on his promises of wealth. Now, she was jobless, her savings gone. Her Instagram following tanked, her posts felt fake, and her fans called her out for shilling Ethan's shady app. Mutual friends, who'd once cheered her glow up, stopped inviting her out when Ethan's leaked text showed her badmouthing them to impress him. She'd moved back to her mom's basement, a toxic place she'd sworn she'd never return to, with her mother's constant criticism as her new soundtrack. I didn't smile when Tom told me. I didn't feel vindicated. I just felt nothing. Mia's choices had built her cage, not me. I remembered her smug face, telling me I was holding her back. Now, she was the one stuck, her dreams crumbling under the weight of her own decisions. Tom hesitated, then added, She's been asking about you, Jake. Says she messed up. I thanked him for the heads up and hung up. Her downfall didn't bring me joy. It just confirmed what I'd learned. Her version of ambition was chasing a mirage. I'd moved on, and her karma was hers to carry. A few weeks after Tom's call, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Jake, it's Mia. I messed up. Can we talk? I stared at the screen, feeling nothing but a faint echo of the hurt she'd caused. I didn't respond. I'd spent a year and a half rebuilding my life. New city, new job, new sense of self. Mia was a chapter I'd closed. 2 days later, another message. I know I hurt you, Jake. I was wrong about everything. Please, just one coffee. Her tone was soft, almost pitiful, but I knew her too well. She wasn't sorry. She was scared. I deleted the texts and went for a run, letting the rhythm of my steps drown out her words. Then her friend Sarah called. I almost didn't pick up, but curiosity won. Jake, Mia's in a bad place, Sarah started, her voice dripping with fake concern. She's lost everything. Her career, her confidence. You owe her a conversation, at least. I kept my voice even. Sarah, I don't owe Mia anything. She made her choice, and I've made mine. Sarah scoffed. Wow, you've changed. You used to be so nice. She's crying her eyes out, and you're just cold. I'm not cold, I said. I'm done. Tell her to stop reaching out. I hung up, my hands steady. Sarah's guilt trip only reminded me of Mia's toxicity. Her friends were just as manipulative as she was. A month later, I got a forwarded package notice from my old landlord. Mia had shown up at our old apartment, thinking I still lived there. The new tenant sent me a photo of a note she'd left. Jake, I need to see you. I'm so sorry. Ethan was a mistake. You were always good to me. I tossed the note in the trash. But then my phone rang. Her number. I let it go to voicemail. Jake, please. Her voice cracked through the speaker. I'm living in my mom's basement. It's hell here. I know I screwed up, but we were good together, weren't we? I can change. She paused. Then her tone shifted, sharp and bitter. You can't just ignore me like this. I'm trying to make things right. I deleted the voicemail. Her desperation was clear, but so was her entitlement. She wasn't reaching out because she cared about me. She was reaching out because her world had collapsed, and I was her backup plan. I blocked her number and moved on with my day. 6 months later, I attended Tom's engagement party at a rooftop venue in the city. I'd hesitated to go, knowing Mia might be there, but I wasn't hiding anymore. I walked in, dressed sharp, my confidence earned through hard work and healing. Colleagues from my agency greeted me warmly, and I felt at home in my new life. Then I saw her. Mia stood by the bar, her dress wrinkled, her eyes darting nervously. She looked smaller, like the spark she'd chased had burned out. She spotted me and hurried over, her voice shaky. Jake, please. I know I hurt you, but we could start over. I've learned my lesson. I looked at her, calm and unshaken. Mia, you taught me something. Never settle for someone who doesn't see your worth. I've built a life that doesn't include you. It never will. Her face crumpled, but she pressed on. You're really going to throw away what we had? I'm trying here, Jake. You threw it away, I said, my voice steady. I learned from it. I'm grateful for that lesson, but you're not part of my story anymore. Have a good night. I turned and walked back to my friends, who were laughing over a story from work. Mia stood frozen, her desperation on display as guests whispered. I didn't look back. She wasn't my problem anymore. I'd spent years loving her, only to be called small. Now, I was thriving, new job, new city, new peace. She was irrelevant, a ghost from a life I'd outgrown. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.